Love isn't easy, but it's a whole lot harder when your significant other treats you like dirt. It's safe to say that these celebrities belong on everyone's no-date list. Tristan Thompson and Khloe Kardashian began dating in 2016, just a couple of months before his ex-girlfriend, model Jordan Craig, gave birth to his first child, Prince. Unfortunately for Kardashian, her pregnancies with the NBA star would also be tainted by the presence of other women. In April 2018, multiple reports of infidelity surfaced. First, TMZ spotted Thompson going to a hotel room with a mystery woman when Kardashian was 9 months pregnant with daughter True.
This is freaking me out.
The outlet then obtained a video of him kissing 2 other women at a hookah lounge when Kardashian was 3 months pregnant. And it didn't end there. While Kardashian initially chose to stay with Thompson, in February 2019, she called it quits after finding out her man had cheated on her with Kylie Jenner's BFF, Jordyn Woods.
The next day after you do the deed, do you feel anything?
I feel disgusted the next day.
Despite Thompson's bad rep, Kardashian gave him yet another chance in 2020, and they decided to have another child, this one via surrogate. However, before son Tatum was even born in the summer of 2022, Thompson cheated on her yet again, fathering his son with trainer Marilee Nichols.
Why would I want to have a baby with someone who's having a baby with somebody else? I'm not like that deranged.
Thompson took to Instagram stories to apologize to Kardashian, writing, "You don't deserve the heartache and humiliation I have caused you." Robin Thicke met his wife, Paula Patton, in 1991, when he was 14 and she was 15. They were high school sweethearts, eventually tying the knot in 2005. In 2010, their son, Julian Fuego, was born, and all seemed to be well until rumors of infidelity began to swirl. In 2013, Thicke became a household name thanks to his single Blurred Lines. But the track's provocative lyrics were controversial, and his infamous VMAs performance with Miley Cyrus didn't help.
It literally blurred the lines between a woman's right to say no and a man forcing himself.
But it was what happened after the show that really caused the rift in his personal life. Thicke was photographed grabbing 20-year-old Lana Scalaro's behind at an after-party. As she later told Life and Style, "I don't think he cared what Paula thought. I was with him the whole night." At first, Thicke denied everything, but he eventually admitted to being unfaithful in a 2014 deposition. Marvin Gaye's kids had sued the artists behind Blurred Lines for copyright infringement, and Thicke testified that he was too high to remember writing the song.
With all due respect, I was high and drunk every time I did an interview last year.
Asked if he was an honest person, he addressed his February 2014 separation from Patton, saying, "No, that's why I'm separated. I told my wife the truth. That's why she left me." That October, Patton made the split official and filed for divorce. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner married in 2005, and their relationship seemed great until Affleck sabotaged it. For one, he put his career first, which hurt Garner's. As she said at a promotional event in 2015, "I've been home for a long time." Affleck allegedly struggled with anger issues, not to mention that insiders claimed he had hooked up with a former nanny, Christine Uzunian, which he denied, as well as SNL producer Lindsay Shookus, whom he dated publicly after his 2017 divorce. Interestingly, back in 2014, Gone Girl director David Fincher called Affleck's fidelity into question in the DVD commentary, musing, "If I was his wife, I think I would be very suspicious, always, of whoever just called." Affleck and Garner separated in 2015. Though Garner stood by his side as he entered rehab, she continued to support him after their official split, even driving him back to rehab in 2018. And yet, in 2021, Affleck had the audacity to tell Howard Stern that she was to blame for his addiction. Asked what would have happened if he'd stayed married, he made claims that had him dragged by critics, saying, "I'd probably still be drinking. It's part of why I started drinking, because I was trapped." Affleck later tried to walk back his words, saying they weren't true. As of 2024, Nick Cannon has 12 kids with 6 different women, and some of the timelines, well, they overlap. In June 2021, for example, he had twins with DJ Abby De La Rosa and a son with model Alyssa Scott, just 6 months after having a daughter with Brittany Bell. Then, in 2022, he had 5 kids with 5 different women. According to Cannon, that's what his partners wanted.
I know Nick is tired. He's been up all night memorizing his kids' names.
Speaking with The Breakfast Club in 2021, Cannon said he doesn't believe in monogamy and claimed that becoming a father has never been his decision to make. Rather, he said his baby mamas have all actively chosen to have kids with him. Cannon claimed, "Those women and all women are the ones that open themselves up and say, I would like to allow this man in my world and I will birth his child."
It ain't my decision. I'm following suit. So
Fans were quick to clap back, accusing Cannon of looking for excuses for cheating, creating broken homes, and straight-up lying. Cannon has admitted to having been a serial cheater, but told DVSN in 2022 that he's changed and no longer hides anything from his partners because he's now involved in, quote, consensual non-monogamy. Long before Mario Lopez found love with wife Courtney Mazza, he was married to actor Ali Landry for all of 2 weeks. The couple met at the 1998 Miss Teen USA pageant and dated for 6 years before saying "I do" in 2004, then annulled the whole thing days later. Lopez eventually revealed what happened during a 2011 chat with Howard Stern, copping to cheating on his bride-to-be at the bachelor party. He might have gotten away with it, but when Landry's sister discovered incriminating photos, the new marriage was done. Lopez claimed he wasn't ready to get married, but didn't have the courage to say so until after the pics surfaced. Telling the Daily Mail, "I finally got the balls to say, hey, listen, I'm not ready for this, I'm sorry." Landry later told the Unfolding Leadership podcast that the infidelity was more than a one-off, saying,
"Not even a week after, I found out that it was like a Tiger Woods situation. It was truly devastating."
Sienna Miller has been accused of her share of indiscretions, but she was cheated on by Jude Law.
Just look around. How could a man ever choose to settle down with just one?
In 2005, the couple was engaged when Law had an affair with the nanny, Daisy Wright. Law didn't deny it, releasing a statement to the British Press Association that read, "I just want to say I am deeply ashamed and upset that I've hurt Sienna and the people most close to us. There is no defense for my actions, which I sincerely regret." The pair split that same month. Years later, Miller opened up about the scandal, telling the Daily Beast that it was all the more difficult because she was in a play in London's West End at the time and had to remain professional while dodging the paparazzi who were constantly chasing her. Miller admitted, "That was one of the most challenging moments I hope I'll ever have to experience. With that level of public heartbreak, to have to get out of a bed, let alone stand in front of 800 people every night, it's just the last thing you want to do." The actor confessed that she's blocked out a huge chunk of that time, saying, "There's a whole 6 weeks of that experience that I don't remember. I was in so much shock over it all." When Beyoncé dropped her album Lemonade in 2016, she nearly broke the internet. Fans dissected every verse of every track and latched onto telling lyrics like "Becky with the good hair." It quickly became clear to anyone who listened that Jay-Z had been unfaithful, and the record was her response. Jump to 2017, and the rapper admitted as much. Speaking with the New York Times, he shared that he and Bey began making music together as a way to work through their trust issues, which eventually resulted in both Lemonade and his 444 album. He said, "We were sitting in the eye of that hurricane, and it was uncomfortable, and we had a lot of conversations." Noting how most people would have given up, the power couple decided to tackle their pain head-on with therapy and hard work. Jay-Z admitted to having to embrace his vulnerability, saying, "You have to survive, so you go into survival mode, and then all the things happen from there. Infidelity." Aniko Hart was 8 months pregnant in 2017 when rumors surfaced that her husband Kevin Hart had been unfaithful. Radar obtained photos and video of the comic getting frisky with a mystery woman inside a car outside his Miami hotel at 5 a.m. And while he denied the allegations, the evidence was pretty damning. What's more, TMZ learned shortly after that Hart was being extorted by a woman who claimed to have a sexually suggestive video of him. This time, he owned up to the headlines and apologized on Instagram, posting,
"I made a bad error in judgment and put myself in an environment where only bad things can happen, and they did."
Aniko chose to give Hart another chance in order to keep her family together. But it wasn't easy. She revisited the infidelity in a 2019 episode of Kevin Hart, Don't F This Up, revealing she discovered the cheating when someone she didn't know sent her a video of Hart with another woman.
Immediately, I just lost it. I just kept saying, how the f did you let that happen?
But while she forgave him, she also held him accountable to do better. In a revelation that shook Hollywood, Arnold Schwarzenegger admitted in 2011 that he'd fathered a son named Joseph with his family's housekeeper, Mildred Baena, back in 1997. Joseph was born just days after Arnold's wife, Maria Shriver, gave birth to their son, Christopher. And what's more, Baena kept working in the Schwarzenegger household. Schwarzenegger hid the secret from his wife for over a decade, all the while providing for Baena and their child. He even bought them a home in 2010. Ultimately, it was Shriver who confronted her husband about his cheating through their marriage counselor in 2011.
I thought my heart stopped. And then I told the truth.
Shriver soon filed for divorce, ending their 25-year marriage.